I've spent some time poring over the Nintendo Switch Sports trailer to find out as much as I can as far as hidden details go and to see if we can learn anything new or exciting here. So getting straight into it, the first shot shows off the main three modes: play globally, play locally, and play with friends. Two of these are online options, globally and play with friends. It appears that globally will be random online matchmaking, whereas friend code based gameplay is in the with friends section. To play on your own, you'll need to select play locally. This shot also highlights the main logo for the game. It's on all the equipment. We can also glean that there's a very diverse character creator in comparison to other sports titles, which is awesome to see. Lots of different hairstyles and beards and colours to boot. The three environments are gorgeous and have a lot of life in them. There are a lot of themed shops and such around this resort or possible shopping mall, which is awesome to see. The first gameplay example suggests that the characters automatically move around the field with tennis. We'll have to see if we have any external control over them, but it doesn't appear so at the moment. The bowling clip reveals it works very similar to that in the Wii version, which is really great. We also see more of that logo, which is the logo for Spocko Square, the main hub of the world. The Shambara scene shows a coffee shop in the background, which is a fun little detail. Lots of greenery and bikes, screams healthy living here. This game has a few more varied moves as well, with swipes and blocks being quite dependent on the position of the Joy-Con. In the run-up to the soccer, or as we should be saying because I'm British, football game, we see more of Spocko Square in what is likely to be the intro of the football matches in-game. There's a crepe store, a company called Mountain Co, and something to do with buttons over at the end. I'd argue that Mountain Co could be a clothing brand, which could mean that there are in-game universe clothing brands that supply the unlockable cosmetics in Nintendo Switch Sports. We also see Hum Hum Cafe and Hum Hum Books, very Waterstones bookstore vibe coming here. In the game, we see a mini-map to show your position on the field, as well as some different motion control schemes. Swinging the right Joy-Con seems to do a right kick, and you see a small blue flash when it connects. This could be the indicator that it has detected the motion you're trying to do, if that makes sense. Thrusting both Joy-Cons forward does a diving header, which is what every school kid wanted to do when playing on their breaks, so it's a nice little touch. I wonder if there are other special moves in game too. I'm hoping there's going to be a bicycle kick. At this point, I really want to stop and point out how great this game looks. The field is cool, the lighting and glass look really nice. Now, it's not groundbreaking or glass shattering, but it's very effective nonetheless, and it looks gorgeous in comparison to other titles in this sort of range. We then get a little shot of the soccer shootout minigame, which is performed by kicking with the leg strap. This is really cool. It shows us that within each sport there are likely to be multiple methods and mini-games to play. Soccer has two at the moment, the standard match that we saw earlier and this soccer shootout. I don't expect there to be a unique control scheme for each, but it would be interesting to see if other sports have other mini-games and methods of play as well. We next see badminton, and this actually looks like it plays akin to swing mode in Mario Tennis Aces. It looks to have more dynamic movement and types of shot in comparison to the tennis examples for earlier. If you look at them side by side, there is much more movement in badminton. It's possible that this is done specifically to show off for the trailer, but only time will tell at this point. We can also see the container in the background saying Cafe Buttons, which was the button thing I pointed out earlier. I'm not quite sure what sort of mall/plaza has shipping containers and sports facilities as well, not any that I've graced anyway. The final sport is revealed to be volleyball, which is again a very dynamic sport that uses different motion flourishes to do different moves. It's interesting to see that the serves, bumps, sets and spikes all have the Joy-Cons in different positions. Sets have them horizontal and facing the TV, serves have you point the Joy-Con down like a club, and spikes are in an overarm motion, which implies that the Joy-Con gyros will get a good workout themselves here. I'm curious to see what this actually entails with regards to motion detection and if there will be problems down the line. We then get an overhead shot of Spocko Square, which is very nice in general, but it reveals that it is a huge complex within a city. It's really cool here, and if you listen...
The game supports local play with family and friends on one Nintendo Switch system.
You hear a little remix of the Wii Sports theme, really showing some care and really showing that this is the successor to Wii Sports. I'm really hoping that this little glimpse of the music means that we'll get more remixes and more amazing tunes in-game. The map is really vibrant and you can see that each sport has its own location within the map. This also gives rise to some speculation on my part. The two locations on the right side. There is a mostly green topped building in the bottom right with a circle on top, possibly a running track or maybe a small golf area. The golf shots later in the trailer are well away from this complex, so it is possible that this is a demo area, but it's not particularly clear. There is also a dock with a building next to it just above it. Since it's a small building, it's possible that this is just the entrance to the plaza and doesn't signify anything, or if we want to let ourselves dream a little bit, they could be adding water sports down the road. Who knows? There are fun possibilities here, but it does seem that these buildings may represent something. Also in this menu, we see a clothes hanger, which will be for customization, a settings icon to go to the settings naturally, and we also see a gift icon. Now this matches up to the top right with a 0/100, which indicates a daily gift count, or possibly this signals the return of the achievement style stamps that were in the original title. Could we receive gifts instead of stamps with cosmetics attached to them? You can also see that each sport has required Joy-Cons underneath them as well, with Shambara showing 2 control schemes. I'd argue that what this means is that if you play with one Joy-Con, you will only be matched to players that are also using one Joy-Con as well, in the sake of fairness. We then see an example of global matchmaking with survival bowling, a type of minigame within bowling. As I mentioned earlier, multiple modes of play for each sport was implied with the soccer ones, and further implied here. Also, in our continual hunt for buttons, it looks like the actual cafe buttons is there on the left side. It's a nice big cafe, I'd really like a coffee right now. Anyway, a bowling deathmatch where lowest score gets knocked out seems to be the theme of survival bowling. You'll also notice that there are these little stickers / emojis that are likely used to communicate with other players, which is a neat but predictable touch. There's a big screen to show the release date, it's very tasty, it's very blue. We then get a bit more soccer, showing it in action for a third control type in the upcoming free update, using the Joy-Con in the hand and kicking with the leg strap. I'd imagine from the way that the character was moving that the hand Joy-Con moves the player character using the joystick, and the leg strap performs the kicks, albeit there is a cheeky disclaimer down in the bottom right that says motion may not be final, so it's definitely under works at the moment. We then see that they're bringing back golf, and it looks just as cool as before. It may just be me here, but it does seem like the graphical quality doesn't look quite as good. It is under development though, so it's not entirely surprising. We then see details of the playtest, 3 sports, bowling, Shambara, tennis, random matchmaking rather than friend codes, and Nintendo Switch Online required. The sports.nintendo.com link actually shows the exact times, which are here. Not overly friendly for my time zone, mostly really early or really late, but that's really my problem and not yours. And that's the end of the trailer. There's not a huge amount more to be gleaned here than what was told in person or in official press releases. The main thing is the cosmetics, the in-game universe and its various cafes and brands, as well as the potential gift system or stamp system. There's some really cool potential for cosmetics and accessorizing your characters, which very well may be the end game of the game, much like Phantasy Star Online 2. It's worth noting at this point that Mii characters were revealed to be in the game during the Direct, but they aren't shown as part of this trailer, they were shown as part of the Direct presentation. So I've got a screenshot of it now. But yeah, so that's that. From looking at this trailer as a whole though, as far as motion controls go, I'm really liking the variety and the different activities with multiple players. I really hope that they've worked well at tuning the motion controls to not detect badly like other motion titles, albeit I do feel it may just be a little bit inevitable. So yeah, that's the trailer. Have you learnt anything cool here, or did I miss something vital? Let me know in the comments section, and remember to like, share and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch sports content on the way. I'm looking forward to trying out the game next week during the online tests. Thank you for your time today, and thanks to my patrons like Rain, I Love Waffles 1311 and Sick Hippie for the amazing support through Patreon. I've been Master Trainer Peter, and I'll see you soon.